It was really just an attack on the immigrant community and on people of color and Mexican Americans who have every right to vote because they're citizens, but are in a vulnerable position. And I learned how this was experienced firsthand because after this announcement was made, some of the counties in Texas immediately said they would clean up the rolls. And so they sent out these letters. And several hundred of these letters went out in Austin County, which if you haven't been there, it's where Sealy is. It's just southwest of Houston. And it's a community that's overall pretty hostile to immigrants and to Mexican American people. What I've heard is that you can be a fifth-generation Texan in that community, but if you have skin that's even a little bit brown, you're likely to be pulled over and asked about your status. And for folks who just got their legal status as citizens, the idea that they get this letter in the mail from the county clerk that has in bold print, you're suspected of illegally voting, a crime punishable by imprisonment. And if you don't show up within 15 days to prove that you're a lawful U.S. citizen, we will commence legal action against you. These are the letters that went out to people who are U.S. citizens. And this is already a county that's not friendly to these folks. And so it shows how the immigrant rights issue and the voting rights issue, they intersect. And these levers that the other side is pushing to kind of divide us and to suppress our vote are common on both these struggles, immigration and voting rights. And it's not just the impact that these letters have on the person who's receiving it. Because if you're a U.S. citizen, it might be a little bit of trouble, but you can show up and show your passport or your citizenship information. But where this becomes particularly insidious is when these letters go out to families that are mixed status counties. Because as we know in Texas, there are many families that have some people who are citizens and some people who aren't. And when you get this letter, even as a U.S. citizen, if you have a family member in the household who doesn't have complete status, it's a threat. Because here's your address on an official document. And the government is basically saying, we're going to come check you out if you try to vote. And so even if you have every right to vote, you might be discouraged from doing so because you think it's going to expose other people in your family. And these attacks are they're hateful, they're divisive, I believe they're racist in nature, and they are undermining our democracy, right? Because the right to vote in a democratic nation like ours is the most fundamental and important right. It's the right that all these other rights come from. And so when you're talking about these attacks on voting rights, when you're talking about laws like Senate Bill 4, which caused terror in our community, you might remember in February of 2017, they started some raids. And it wasn't coincidental. It turned out that the state and the federal government were coordinating, basically to punish us for having Sally Hernandez as our sheriff. And so these issues go together. And kind of like what Steve was saying, I'm not trying to bring you down, right? But these are some of the issues we're confronting in terms of standing up for humanity.